This is the Khoodeelaar television channel being broadcast on Saturday, December 2023. The microphone apparently wasn't working, so I'm just fixing it. So this is the Khoodeelaartelevision channel. KhoodeelaarTVChannel. KhoodeelaarTVChannel is a combined three-word combination into one word. KhoodeelaarTVChannel is a Siloti word. Silheti word. Sylheti is anglicized spelling. S for sugar, Ylhetti. KhoodeelaarTVChannel is the campaign defending the community in the East End of London. I set up the KhoodeelaarTVChannel campaign together with K. Jordan in December 2003, defending the community against the then UK central government plan to dig a hole bang in the middle of Brick Lane, London E1, in the London Borough of Whitechapel, London Borough of Tower Hamlets in the Whitechapel general area. We successfully campaigned against the Crossrail hole. We campaigned effectively on site, round the clock, for 8 continuous years. 8 years of my life, my expertise, my knowledge, my skills, my dedication to the community. The ideas that I practiced are ideas taken from the universal teachers, including the teacher Aristotle, Plato, and the Persian teacher Rumi, and the Bangla language teacher Nazrul Islam, Qazi Nazrul Islam, and of course including teachers like Rabindranath Tagore and Sarojini Naidu. These are teachers who are not literally unknown to most people, but most people are unable to relate their lives to the experience and the enlightenment and the teachings of these teachers. So the KhoodeelaarTVChannel campaign, continuing to uphold the values and the principles. Now, what I have to do every single day as part of the defense of the community, as part of the articulation of the defense of the community, is something that has to be appreciated by recognizing the realities of the world today, of the countries today, and the realities include the facts that hundreds of millions of people across Africa and Asia have to actually contend with. Hundreds of thousands of children, vulnerable old people, adults, perish under the weight of negligence and indifference shown by people who are in various posts making decisions and powers, abusing the powers. Now, this is a broadcast that is coming from the London Borough of Newham in East London in the United Kingdom. This one is timed at 1100 hours GMT on Saturday, 10th of August 2024. When I left Kolkata, it was Calcutta then, on the 8th of February 1972, was it 73? I boarded a plane BOAC, British Overseas Airways Corporation. And next to me was seated a man, Anglo-Saxon. And throughout the trip from Kolkata to Heathrow in London, the man maintained a commentary, giving me streams and streams and streams of advice. It appeared to me that he was very well briefed by whoever briefed him about me, because he knew exactly the thoughts that I was carrying. And the thoughts were that I would oppose injustice, I would oppose unfairness, and I would oppose discrimination. And he kept saying that I should not do any of those things. And he said the best thing I could do, and I would do, and it would be best for me as he perceived. I never had met him, but he sat there, and he sat there as the tutor. Now, I didn't need him or anyone like him or anyone else. The teachings, as I have summarized at the beginning of this broadcast, come from the teachers Aristotle, Socrates, and then I mentioned Plato, and the teacher Rumi, the Persian teacher Rumi. And of course, I didn't mention Iqbal, Muhammad Iqbal, and then Qazi Nazrul Islam, the rebel poet Qazi Nazrul Islam, and the world poet Rabindranath Tagore, and the champion of causes, Sarojini Naidu. Sarojini Naidu came from Bikrampur area in Dhaka, but she obviously was most active during the period leading up to the 14th and 15th of August 1947 departure of the British imperialists. Sarojini Naidu was one of the very small number of Hindu people, contemporaries of Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who appreciated his intellectual abilities and his tactical abilities, unique abilities, and our tributes are well recorded. Sarojini Naidu traveled to the United Kingdom, to London, and she attended a college in the University of Cambridge, Garton College, I think. And she took part briefly in the women's movement. What I've been doing for the last 7 decades of active intellectual engagement is to familiarize myself with the current, contemporary implications and consequences and connections with all these teachings and teachers. I am on the record as having been the person who defeated an alive kind of event held in the 1960s, the second part of the decade of the 1960s, held at the place that used to be called the Institute of Engineers. I defeated Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who later went on to become the Prime Minister and President of Pakistan post 1971. My challenge to Zulfikar Ali Bhutto happened in the, I think, the second part of the 1960s. And I don't think that Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, who was materially from a very wealthy family, the Larkana, the Bhutto family owned, I think still own huge parts of Larkana in Sindh. And I don't believe that he ever encountered any challenge remotely similar to the challenge that I represented to him. And the challenge was intellectual. Challenge was very heavily biased against his ignorance. Bhutto arrived in Dhaka, then capital of then East Pakistan, as part of the program that he wanted to recruit the most active intellectual young people to join his then forthcoming Pakistan People's Party. Neither did he nor anybody else present could have imagined my presence there, let alone my role in undoing Bhutto's plan. And the whole of Bhutto's life, nobody challenged him, and nobody challenged him in parliament, which became later the parliament of the post 1971 Pakistan. And I don't believe that since that challenge that I carried out against Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, I don't think that he recovered from his standpoint damages that I inflicted on him. He was ignorant about the history of the subcontinent, and he was contemptuous of the role of the fighters, the soldiers that fought against injustice, and the people who laid down their lives for independence from the British imperialists. And he had no idea about the future. And he could not spell out why he was there at all in the gathering at the rally, addressing the rally at the Institute of Engineers. So one after the other, I posed 1, 2, 3, 9 questions in a row to Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. And increasingly, with every single question coming, Bhutto became redder and redder and redder in the skin until he could not take any more of my torrent of questions, fusillades of questions that I was throwing at him. At which point he turned right. He did an about turn in a military parade style, about turn, and marched straight out of the Institute of Engineers. And I presume he went back to the Intercontinental Hotel where he was staying during his short stay in Dhaka. And he flew out back to Karachi or Islamabad, wherever he went. I didn't keep any track of that. That happened in the late second part of the 1960s. The many things that I did in the 1960s included attending as many of the gatherings addressed by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. But unlike Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, I didn't have any reason to challenge Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. The simple reason being that Sheikh Mujibur Rahman really never gave a speech that I can remember. So I covered Sheikh Mujibur Rahman in a universally defined journalistic way for 3 years, 1967, up to the election of 1970, December 1970. Most of my writings in English were contributed to the thing called a weekly publication in English called the Young Pakistan. The Young Pakistan was edited by a man from Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh in India, who had been to, he was based in Burma, in Rangoon, where he edited a thing called the Daily Star, I think, in the 1930s, 1940s. And then after the August 1947, departure of the British imperialists, the man called Aziz Ahmad Biliamini, he settled in Dhaka and he published this weekly Pakistan, Young Pakistan. And the publishing banner he used was Pakistan Press Syndicate. Among the contributors to the Young Pakistan, from a distance, not in any way related to me in terms of communications, were a woman, American woman, Jewish woman who became Muslim, Maryam Jamila, and the German born woman called Fatima Hiren. Now, these were two of the very inspiring contributors that I had tremendous, absolute respect for. They had conviction, they had clarity, they had commitment, they had resolve, and they had principles. The only time that I met Fatima Hiren was in 1977, I think, or thereabouts, in Dhaka during a conference that was organized by allegedly Muslim intellectuals. I recorded 1 hour of audio interview with Fatima Hiren, and I treated that 1 hour as one of the most precious moments in my whole life. Fatima Hiren, may God bless her, Maryam Jamila, may God bless her. Fatima Hiren is no more, and although I'm not able to do this in this broadcast or in this current situation, I intend to pay tributes to her and share my thoughts about her, Fatima Hiren, with as many people as I can do. Fatima Hiren became very close associated with a Nigerian Muslim born in the, I think in Portsmouth. She was born in Portsmouth. Aisha Lemu, Lemu. God bless her. So these are the people that I have had absolutely tremendous amount of respect for. Now, compared to them, the surroundings in Newham, in East London, where I'm doing this broadcast record, I can't do this from anywhere because I haven't got access to the internet. This is the place where I can have access on the street. And what I shall be doing is following up all of those in due course. And I'm now going to do a bit of shopping. I'm going to do some shopping for the cats in the evening, the meal in the evening. One cat is called BW, that is for black and white, baby one. It's an adult one, but I call him baby one. All the kittens, I call them kittens, whatever age, whatever fur color, whatever. So I'm responsible morally and emotionally for three of these babies who come in the evening. But because I don't live where I'm sitting now, I can only do one trip in the evening, and I hope that the others catch up with the BW. The BW is the cleverest one. It appeared yesterday out of nowhere where I wasn't able to expect it, but so it was absolutely fortunate. And the food that I'm feeding them is the brand goal. It's a gourmet, Gourmet. They love it, and I hope that I will be able to continue on all of these. This is now 11:15 GMT on Saturday, 10th of August 2024. About the baby angel Geronimo, there is absolutely total kind of, in terms of policy, denial of the rights of the baby angel Geronimo and the harassment and traumatizing harassment campaign of harassment aimed at him by the evilness called the depraved DEFRA, United Kingdom Central Government Department, called DEFRA. DEF for, I'll come to the details in a minute. It's the Department for Environment, but it is the Department Against Environment. And the behavior of the evilnesses that made the decisions to harass the baby angel Geronimo and to harass his human mom in England, where South Gloucestershire, Helen MacDonald. Those evilnesses were personifications of evil, being misguided by Satan, as predicted in the Holy Quran, in Surah Al-Isra. And the Satans, in turn, influence all the decision makers in the Labour Party fronted by Keir Starmer. Innal batila kana zahuqa. Innal batila kana zahuqa. So I shall be ending this broadcast at 11:17 hours GMT on Saturday, 10th of August 2024. Allahu Akbar.